Hey guys, as I record this video, it is election day 2020, as if 2020 didn't offer enough, excitement. We seem to be coming on another opportunity for creative parenting and leading and educating our children through a season of maybe a little angst and uncertainty. So we wanted to encourage you and to give you a few reminders, a few verses that you can cling to and that you can use to help your children walk through this. So whether you're listening or watching and you have littles, or you are like me and you have adult children, we have an opportunity to lead our kids through this and to parent and to process together. So I want to start by saying that as I record this, as I said, it is election day. So I do not know the outcome, and I'm not sure when we'll know the outcome. I do know this, that I have friends on both sides. I have friends who are hoping and praying that it turns out one way. I have friends who are hoping and praying that it turns out the complete opposite. But no matter where you fall, we do know that there will be angst involved. And so I wanted to give you a few reminders about some things that you can be aware of, as always, not to add to your to-do list, but to help you be intentional with what you're already doing. Some awareness about your vocabulary and some things that you can focus on to communicate stability and hope. That's really what I want to focus on. Julia Fortman brought to our attention the significance of and how much we can learn from the Strengths Finder from Gallup. And Gallup has done so much research over the last couple of decades on leadership, and they found that the followers' four basic needs, they polled many people, and there are four basic needs of followers: trust, compassion, stability, and hope. So followers want and need from their leaders that trust, compassion, stability, and hope. And what is parenting? Parenting is leadership in the home. So our children need from us that trust, compassion, stability, and hope. We talk a lot about how much our kids need trust. We talk a lot about compassion and being sensitive to them, especially as we talk about thoughts and feelings. But I want to focus on the last two right now, the stability and the hope, because right now things feel unstable. And I've talked to many who are having a hard time finding hope and seeing hope. And so I want us to be aware that our children need from us stability and hope. And they need for us to find our stability and hope so that we can communicate stability and hope to them, and we can cultivate that in our home. So it's not just about communicating it, but we want to cultivate that and create that stability and hope in our homes. We say a lot that there are three things we look for in a safe home and or in a stable home, and that is we can create an environment that is safe, simple, and silly. Safe physically, emotionally, relationally, and then simple. We control our calendar doesn't control us. And then silly, we play a lot of games. These are ways that we can create that environment that our kids walk in and say, I'm home, I'm safe, and I like it here. And so how can we do that in this season? We talked before, it was months ago, about parenting in a pandemic. And I believe if we take those principles that we discussed then and we apply it to parenting in a political season, that it transfers. We said that we need to process in private, that we need to cultivate connection, answer what is asked, and foster fun. And we're going to walk through those. How do we do that? Not just in a pandemic like we did, but in a political season. Those four apply. But how can I communicate and cultivate stability and hope? Number one, understand what stability is. Stability is steadiness and consistency. It is saying, we are a family, we will stay a family. So I can communicate stability even when things are unstable around us. And so I am going to try to be mindful of that and keep our routine the same and communicate as much as possible that our family, that we will wake up, what will be the same tomorrow, what will be the same the next day. So I'm going to be aware of that communication of stability and how to create stability. And then hope. Hope, the definition is expectation or desire for a certain thing to happen. So hope is expectant waiting. And so it is knowing that things will turn out okay. It's knowing that God will take care of me even if things don't turn out like I want them. And so we have an opportunity, a responsibility to communicate and to create stability and hope. And what do I cling to? What do I hope in? Hebrews 13:8 says, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So my stability, when things around me are uncertain, what is the same? Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. No matter the outcome, God is still God. God is still good. No matter the outcome, we are a family and we love each other. No matter the outcome, God will take care of us and God will use everything for His glory and our good. So I'm going to acknowledge the uncertainty. I can acknowledge that it may cause some angst, but I'm going to cling to what I know to be real and true. That's how I communicate and create stability and hope. Isaiah 40:31. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Those who hope in the Lord, because Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I am excited about the future because I know that God is still God and God is still good. And so I can be hopeful. And I think in this uncertainty, we have accidentally maybe allowed a feeling of hopelessness or frustration to ease out and to ooze out of our homes and our relationships and our conversations. We have to be aware. That's what I want to go to, those 4 principles real quick. So review. What are we working to create and to communicate during this political season? We are working to create and communicate stability and hope. And we can do that no matter what the outcome of the election is. And then I want to remind you of our four points about parenting in a pandemic, and we're going to transfer it to parenting in a political season. Number 1, process in private. If you need to talk to your friends about the election, your spouse about the election, your parents, whatever it is, be aware that little ears are listening. And when we use hyperbolic language, when we use language like our country will never be the same, or our life as we know it is over, or I'm leaving the country, we're moving, we're gonna move out of the country if so-and-so is elected, just be aware that little ears are listening. So have your angst with your friends, but process in private. Be aware that ears are listening. Now, if you're like me and you have adult children or teenage children and they're interested in the election, just be aware of your vocabulary and communicate and hear what they're saying, and then communicate that stability and hope no matter the election. And then cultivate connection. We want to cultivate connection in our homes, create opportunities for our children to express what they're thinking or feeling, to express that they've heard certain things. And so when we play games, when we have meals, when we're sitting around together, without the news on, then we have the opportunity, we create the opportunity for our children to share what they're learning, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. So process in private, cultivate connection, answer what is asked. If your child is not interested in the election or what's going on in the world, then let's not put that on them. If you want to inform them, educate them, remember that they don't have to feel all the feelings about it right now. They don't need to feel what you're feeling right now. So answer what is asked. I do remember when Joseph was in 2nd grade, there was a lot of talk about it at school, and we weren't aware until Joe came home saying, I can't even remember who the candidates were. And he said, so and so said her mom wouldn't vote for him because he kills babies. I said, what? And you could see that Joe was worried and upset about a man who was murdering children, which does make sense. Remember, our children are literal and they hear more than we think they do. And so we talked him through it and said, actually, it's not exactly like that, but we did go through, we had to explain what we believed, what the Bible says. It gave us opportunities for some creative parenting and addressing things that we were not ready to. My point being, give your child opportunities if they have heard things to talk about them and to ask about them, but don't put it on them if they're not ready to talk about it or if they haven't asked you about it. Process in private, cultivate connection, answer what is asked. And then number 4, foster fun. Why do I say foster fun? What does fun have to do with creating stability and hope? Well, I want to go back to the first thing that the Gallup poll said that their followers need: trust. And trust is built with time spent. And games and laughter communicate safety and stability. So trust, compassion, stability, and hope is what they need. Don't underestimate the power of playing games. Don't underestimate the power of laughter in your home. It does create to your child safety, stability, those things that we're trying to create. It is definitely a result of playing games. They will feel they're lighthearted, and not that you're ignoring the angst, but you are creating this feeling of stability and safety when you are playing games, when you are laughing together. So process in private, cultivate connection, answer what is asked, foster fun. Don't underestimate the power of laughter and the power of games. This is parenting in a pandemic, and this is parenting in a political season. The bottom line is, we don't know what the next few weeks holds. We, as I said, as I record this, it is election day. We don't know anything yet. We do know this. We know that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And we know that those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. We know that our children need from us stability and hope. And we have the opportunity, the responsibility through our vocabulary, through our actions, through our conversations, through activities in our home to communicate and create that stability and hope that our children so desperately need. So we want to encourage you to do just that. We are with you, we are for you, we are hopeful, and actually we know that God will use everything for His glory and our good. And we know that you are exactly the mom that your child needs, and we can't wait to hear from you about how you are creating stability and hope during this political season.